I am the Commissar, that's my name. Forged alliance forever, that's the game. And which of these players have a claim to fame? Let's go and find out. We have 5v5 custom map action today on a generated map. And we have the northern team here in the north, and the southern team here in the south. Starting with the northern team. At the back in one of the two possible air positions we have Zardos, who I hope is a reference to the film Zardos. Great film, I hope you've seen it. The gun is good, the penis is evil. Sean Connery in a red leather mankini. Everything you need, and Zardos has gone first air. Now, in all of that we haven't yet said, Zardos is 1100 rated, he's UEF, and he is in mauve. Going round to the other possible air position for the northern team, we have MexClicker, who is 1500 rated, he's Seraphim, and he's dark blue. In this flank position, we have Tabernapple, who is 1600 rated. He's the highest rated player for the northern team. He's orange and he's Eon. Going round to the forward position, and already walking forward up there, we have Blazeroflasher. He is 1100 rated, he is Seraphim, and he is yellow. And last but not least, for the northern team, he is PrueglerPDM, who is 1300 rated. He's also Seraphim, and he is in cyan. Now for their opponents on the southern team. Here, walking forward, is Oblii. He is the highest rated player in the game by some margin at 2100. He's gone first air. He is Seraphim, and he is in burgundy. And next to him, in the other back sort for the southern team, this is Street Racer 371. He's 900 rated, he's Cybran, and he is in red. And he's also gone first air. A lot of first air this game. Moving over to their flank sort, just as Oblii walks past him, this is Babel, who's 1400 rated, who's Seraphim, and who is in fecal brown. In the front sort, and is he already walking up to the front? There he is, off in the distance. That is Maresko, who is 1200 rated, Eon, and in baby blue. And last but not least, this is Rosenkastel, who is 900 rated, he's Eon, and he is in white. So, quick look at the map. Not much reclaim anywhere to be had, to be honest. The main points of interest, there's a bit of mass in the middle, but there's a lot on these plateaus to fight for. And if we have a quick look around, we see there's some early scouting from Babel, from Preugler, and from Blazer, with all these Seraphim Selene scouts. That's pretty nice scouting, and they'll get a good read on what's going on there. Now, Preugler has already sent engineers up to go for this plateau, but Oblii is going one better. He's sending his comm there, and it looks like Babel is following him. However, this plateau is the destination of two airdrops full of tasty engineers, one from MexClicker and the other from Tabernapple. Not to be outdone, we also have an airdrop coming in from Street Racer. And over on this side, Zardos has managed to get a few of his engines into the back, as has Oblii. So everybody dropping these plateaus. Well, not everybody. 5 out of 8 players. But lots of people dropping these plateaus, which is nice play. Immediate factory going down there for Tabernapple, same for Street Racer. MexClicker hasn't had a chance to react yet. Now this could be important. Oblii's got factories down, or a factory, whereas Zardos has gone for the mexes and has left the gun he started, the AA gun he started alone. He tries to reclaim, and he'll get the reclaim, but he hasn't got a factory here, and Oblii has. Now, Street Racer's drop has been caught before the factory finishes by the Selenes from Blazer. So, that is going to be a pretty solid hold on this plateau for the northern team, even though Mex has only just noticed his engineers and got them burning a factory here, so hold there. Over here, we have also got two comms from the other team. We've got Zardos and Prugler coming up to help out their engineers. But Oblii and Babel are well ahead of them and pushing in, and Oblii's got these tanks coming out from his factory to reinforce. Now, Prugler feels like he's in a bit of an issue with two comms on him, and Zardos falls back to help out. A turret is going up. Is it going to make it? Possibly. It seems as if Oblii and Babel are going to fall back a little bit for now. Babel and Prugler both into the yellow as the comms fight it out. There's tanks from both helping out. Nice little shot there of everybody going head to head. That might be my thumbnail there. This is where the party's going down, people. Now, zooming out a bit, Babel's dropped back a bit there. And Zardos is shooting at the tank. He thinks he's got a health buffer to spare, and he has. But this is not so good for Prugler. Prugler is down into the red. He's running away from Oblii, but Oblii's chasing him. 1,700 hit points. 1,600, 1,500. Prugler is not feeling tasty. He's trying to run behind this point defense that he prepared earlier, and it seems like that might pay off, because Zardos is now into the yellow, but he's holding back the other two comms. That seems like a brave place, a courageous place to get T2 on the comm for Prugler, relying on Zardos and Zardos alone to hold off against two healthier comms. But fearing the comm bomb perhaps, Oblii and Babel are going to be more cautious. Now, however, let's take a quick look at the other side. Tabernapple, meanwhile, has brought his comm all the way up here to take advantage of the plateau that he's holding, and has pushed right to the front. Rosenkastel was hoping to come up here with a few tanks, but thanks to Tabernapple's combined spam and comm, with this turret here to fall back to if necessary, Rosenkastel doesn't feel up to it and falls back to regroup. And a quick look in the middle, we've got a classic face-off of a gun comm. That's only single gun comm, remember. You'll now have to buy the second range upgrade separately, versus T2 comm being prepared for Blazer. But Blazer's got more tanks, and Maresko's feeling a little yellow right there. Meanwhile, Prugler is surrounded by tanks from Oblii, and he's looking dangerous, and so is Zardos. We have two comms deep down into the red. If one of them dies, both die at this range because they're so close together. But with Prugler's support, it looks like Zardos is free and clear, and if he can take out that arty, so is Prugler. But and over here, down in the south, we have a comm drop from Street Racer coming across to help out Rosenkastel. Now, Tabernapple's comm is injured, and Street Racer has come in with stealth and with the gun upgrade, and he's focusing down Tabernapple's comm. So, quick check over there to make sure that these guys aren't about to die. Looks like they've got enough to hold. And we'll focus back here on Street Racer and Tabernapple is down into the red, and he looks like he might be in a bit of a bad way. There are few worse ways, my friends, than dead, and Tabernapple is dead. Rosenkastel and Street Racer have between them taken him out, and he's their highest rated player, so that's quite a scalp for the southern team to claim. MexClicker inherits all his stuff. because this is a sensible game and full share is on. Quick check back across the middle. We've got that face-off between T2 and now gun and a half, since we got that extra range upgrade now on Maresko. But Maresko is in range of that T2 PD and might want to do something about it, because Blazer is sitting there with his T2. Nano going down for Prugler, who very desperately needs a bit of health. Zardos feeling a lot cooler about being so deep down into the health pits. And we have a little force massing here from Blazer to see if it can do something about that incursion into the eastern plateau. Quick look at the eco. The northern team... No, take that back. There's a reclaim going back and forth here. We'll have to... No, wait. There we go. We're looking at the wrong thing I was. Eco is almost dead on balance. That's pretty neat. So no eco advantage to either side right now. Zardos feeling aggressive before he even does anything to get any health back. He's going for the gun upgrade. And that nano upgrade is going to finish quite soon. So I think that is going to give Prugler some much needed points before these boys can do anything about it. But this is quite a well fortified position from the southern team, Oblii now with T2. So we have both plateaus in the hands of the southern team. They haven't turned it into an eco advantage yet. It's still very close, but we might get something. Now up here we've had an energy drop coming in from Zardos. Oblii has seen it and has sent tanks to clean it up, but Zardos has responded with Janus and gunships. And those Janus are now causing a bit of trouble for Oblii's expansion onto this plateau, and Oblii has to send his T1 inties in numbers to clear up the Janus. But there are ASFs on the field here for MexClicker, and he has sent those to fight the what's the word? Inties, that's the word, from Oblii. However, it looks like most of the Janus are going to die to the Inties. Still a couple floating around here. And MexClicker has backed off. He's more interested in something else. Nope, fight's still going on. Zardos now also going for nano repair, and once he's got that finished, despite the earlier damage, that'll be quite a formidable comm. Ooh, that looks painful. MexClicker has tried to sneak a drop of Harbies in, and it got taken out. That hurts. That's what? 4 Harbies he lost to that drop. Painful. However, looks like he's not to be deterred, and he's got more Harbies coming in a chariot and in some Vish T2 transports. Is that T1 or T2? T1. And he's sending them straight across the front. And where are they going? They're going here and here into Rosenkastel's base. They've been seen. But that Harby's down, and that's going to cause some problems. That T2 Mex is going to die for sure. Ooh, he's diverted this one further back. Is it going to get its cargo off? Yes, it is. So we got Harbies being dropped into Rosenkastel's base and causing a bit of an issue. And while we do have T3 air from Oblii, it hasn't really done much yet. And this is nice. You often see this, but don't forget that Stinger gunships have a transport function just for one boy, and they're going to come in, shoot these tanks first, and then drop off the engineers from Zardos. So that's a nice little use of the transport capacity on Stingers. And those Harbies still just scuttling around in Rosenkastel's base, and more Harbies being dropped here into the middle now, where they might cause some problems for either Rosenkastel or for Maresko. Though with Maresko's gun upgrade and with the shield on the way and with an actual shield to hide under, he might be able to take them out with a bit of auto overcharge. And she's got turrets there, so those Harbies quickly fall back into Rosenkastel's base, where a decent amount of damage has been done. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mexes, 6. Oop, it's like a hiccup there, sorry. 6 mexes taken out. And it's paid off because they're now 40, 50 mess ahead, the northern team. And here are those landed NGs quickly setting up a little base and maybe trying to reclaim this stuff up here. But the southern team still hold both plateaus. Mobile missiles raining down on the forward base of Maresko. Ooh, but look at this. Oblii has the TML on his comm and he's smacking out mexes in Kruegler's base. He's taken out at least 2. Will this take a third T2 mex? Ooh, yes it will. That's pain. And that's Oblii really paying for himself. Is he going to get the 4th? We'll see in a moment. He is not, because Pruegler has understood the threat and put up tactical missile defences. But he's going to have a lot of rebuilding to do, and he's been reduced to just 15 eco by this attack. So that's pretty good work from Oblii, only to be expected from such a high-rated player. And now that he's seen that TM Eagle's up, he's just going and poking out some of Blazer's T2 mexes over here. So that's an awful lot of good work that TML has been getting. Look at all those mexes just being taken out. Meanwhile, more Harbies have dropped in, and Rosenkastel is having a problem, so Maresko has pulled back his shield comm to come and overcharge them out. But the more he shoots, the more just get dropped in. Meanwhile, Blazers pushed a bunch of T1 units onto the plateau, and they might get some stuff done. They're taking out a couple of mexes. They've got to be careful of Rosenkastel's comm, who's here. But they are getting work done. And it looks like these... Where are these 2 Harbies going? Yes, they're coming back onto the plateau from the other side. And in combination with these boys, they'll be able to cause a bit of trouble. And yet more Harbies. So don't forget, Sarah T2 transports have a decent amount of cargo capacity. And that's 4 Harbies on board that one. And it looks like with these 6 total Harbies, Rosenkastel might be about to be caught out. He's completely naked and unupgraded, so 4 Harbies might be enough to do the dirty deed. And it looks like he hasn't got overcharge either. And so those 4 Harbies, they even all survive the explosion. Rosenkastel is down, and we're now on 4 in the north versus 3 in the south. And Oblii is going to inherit Rosenkastel's base. Meanwhile though, snipers and even a couple of absorbers, which is a nice touch, being built up by Maresko, who's massing a force here, and with those absorbers and the snipers, he might be able to do something about this emplacement from Blazer. Pruegler, meanwhile, who already has nano and T2, is going for guns, so he's going to be quite a tough nut to crack. Blazer also has nano and T2, but he doesn't have any firepower upgrades just yet. Now, looking at the air, looks like Oblii actually has slightly more than MexClicker on the other side. North team has quite the lead on eco now, over 100, which surprises me a bit. But it looks to me from that shenanigan, yeah, Maresko is heavily power stored, and so that's not a true reflection of their eco. And when he gets that PGen online, hopefully matters will be better for him. And those snipers are beginning to mass up, so this could mean trouble, but there isn't much of a defense here for Maresko, and so if there's any actual pushing coming down this way, then Maresko might find himself outmatched, but there isn't really. This is all just firebase. And while there are 3 comms, at least 2 of them, look at Zardos now, he's pretty buff. Gun, shield and nano, so that's a lot of powerful comm, but they don't have anything to back it up should they push. And so now that there are shields coming in as well, this little force here could be a problem. And look at those absorbers, they're going right through those shields. Bit of flak, lot of flak coming up from Zardos along with shields to protect his comm. Probably a wise choice. Interesting positioning for his land HQ there, with the rest of his base, including T3S, who he's joined Maresko, other M guy, MexClicker, that's it. He's joined MexClicker in going T3F for the northern team. Oh, and is that Oblii trying to... Ah, he's got Arty there, which is shooting up the land HQ. If you can take that out, that'll be a blow to Zardos' ability to put out land units. Over here, after the death of Rosenkastel, we've had quite an advance from MexClicker, who's got Harbies, engineering capacity, defences, shields, and now factories. So it looks like the northern team has pretty much shielded this eastern plateau off from their opponents, though Babel here with gun and nano and a decent amount of spam might be preparing a push. There's a lot of Harbies here though. Does he know about that? I mean, yes he does, so that's probably why he hasn't pushed in yet, but... But he's thinking about it. And there we go. That's the land HQ for Zardos, taken out by presumably a combination of Oblii's TML and his artillery installation here. So now we've got one plateau each, one for the north team, one for the south team, but look at this barrage of sniper fire backed up by absorbers, eating its way even through Seraphim shields. That feels like the northern team are going to have to come up with some new plan to stop this. And sure, there's no fixed shields here, but that's a lot of asylums. Asyla? From both Babel and from Maresko. There's a line of pigeons we can see in the back. They're making an artistic sweep. But this bombardment, what have the northern team got to stop it? Those snipers and absorbers are just completely unopposed. And now there are harbingers coming up which could provide either a defense should there be a counter push, or capitalize on the damage done by the sniper bots. Meanwhile, quick look at air numbers. MexClicker has 65 ASFs. Has Zardos built any yet? He has not. Oblii has only 56, so slight air advantage to the northern team, and I don't think Street Racer has any. He does not. Lot of pinging going down. Looks like he's upgrading some mexes. Bit of posturing with the air from Oblii here. Wonder what he's got planned. Ooh, is that a Continental full of Harbies? Looks like he had it planned to come over here, but then he saw these ASFs and got scared off. But he wants it, so he's taking the air fight. If he could take the air fight, then that Continental can come through unopposed. He's over flak from Babel, which feels like a poor position to take the air fight. But he has the slight numbers advantage, and he's got more streaming in. And do you know, I think he's going to win it. He does. MexClicker takes the air and is coming down to clean up the rest of the ASFs, and thanks to the shield on the Continental, it's going to be able to drop its load of 6 Harbies into the base here. Ooh, look at that. That Continental, it goes down, but the Harbies have been landed, and 6 Harbies into the back. Those were some tasty mexes. Is that the wreck from a T3 mex? I think it might be, you know. Babel losing a lot of eco in this. And how's he going to stop these Harbies? Well, we do have a gun and stealth comm from Street Racer coming up here, and he's quickly throwing up point defences, as is Babel. And he's going to clear them up, but look at that eco. And meanwhile there's been another drop from this smaller transport, landing another 4 Harbies, so this is brutal, guys. And meanwhile we have our first experimental, which is a GC from MexClicker. Meanwhile, we have a quick check back to the middle and see that out of all the 3 comms that were there and all that firebase, it's gone. It's been trashed by this force here of snipers and shields. And there's an arty bank going up here for Blazer to try and take it back with a shield to support it, but that feels like an arty bank of desperation, and it's already within range of those. Are those the Ascendants or the snipers? But they've got something more to worry about now. They've got this Colossus to worry about, which comes stomping its way in. Now, the sniper bots, if they focus the Colossus, should be able to get something done, but I don't know if they're being targeted or not, and they're just trying to run away. So, that's a lot of boys for that Colossus to chew through. For that Colossus to chew through. A bit of a tongue twister for some reason there, I'm not sure why. Sucking up and crushing Harbies in its practicals. Microwave lasering its face through the shields, just tearing things apart. This Colossus is proving pretty difficult to stop. And Maresko's comm, I mean, he's got the shield, he's got the gun and a half, he's right there, and the GC is taking damage, but it feels like there's a bit of a threat here. There's a bank of PDs going up to try and stop it, and there are still a bunch of sniper bots firing on it as it falls back. But Maresko's base feels in danger. And Maresko, he's walking forward to try and take out the GC with his comm. And he does. He does, despite being deep into the red with only 1700 hit points remaining. Did you see that? 1700 hit points remaining, and he managed to overcharge that GC to death. Balls of steel, my man, balls of steel. But there's already another GC on the way forward from MexClicker to make Maresko's day a little bit worse. There's a chicken nearly done for Oblii, but I think the GC beats the chicken one-on-one, so he's going to have to help it out with quite a lot of this stuff. North team eco lead still around 200, so they're still producing, but we can see here that kill ratio is almost twice as good for the southern team as it is for the northern team. So with what mass they've had, the southern team have done so much more. A lot of that's going to be down to that amazing TMO work from Oblii's comm and from those balls of steel maneuvers we've seen from Maresko. So it's my tradition to ask you at the 30-minute mark, who do you think will win? Got an XP pushing in from the north, they got better eco, but half and half map control. Southern team's got its best player, whereas by a huge margin, whereas northern team has lost its best player. And overall feels quite balanced. What's your call? Tell me in the comments below. As always, I won't know if you cheat, but you will. So you're on your honour not to cheat. That chicken comes forward. MexClicker says he needs teammates, and I understand what he means. This GC doesn't have any support, and in the face of those snipers and of that chicken, it falls back. There's a few broadswords out from Zardos, which is pretty nice. He's not contributing to the ASF fight at the moment, but last we saw, the northern team had one air, so that's the perfect time for Zardos to take advantage of it with broadswords. Now, Street Racer has again transported his comm out to this side. That's courageous, going in all alone, but he's got gun, he's got stealth. He could be vulnerable to attack from the air, but at the moment the only defense is T1 from MexClicker. And there's a couple of T2 Mexes which are already on the way to T3 in some cases. And if he can take them out, which he does at least one of, that's gonna pay for itself as long as his comm doesn't die in the process, which it might, so we've got to be careful there, we've got to keep an eye on it. Did Oblii's chicken die? Did I miss that? Where's the chicken gone? Nope, it's right up here. But the GC's now against us, and it is now Oblii who lacks support, whereas there's shield generators, both mobile and otherwise, in support of the GC. And Oblii's chicken retreats from it back to the support of these sniper bots. He's taken out two T2 mexes that were on their way to T3, and he's got two more T2 mexes. So that's some good work from Street Racer's comm. But we've got another Continental full of Harbies, and we saw that take out Rosenkastel, who I keep wanting to call Rosenkrantz, because, you know, obvious reasons, right? So could this be the demise of Street Racer? Maybe, but those Harbies haven't reacted yet to the drop. Maybe MexClicker's looking elsewhere, and Street Racer's already overcharged two. He overcharges another two. They fire on him. He dodges a bit, and he's going to do it. Street Racer he's lost half his health, but he's overcharged the 6 Harbies and just got away with it. Look at that, he's on full vet now. That's pretty nice. However, over here we now got 2 GCs from MexClicker. One of them is fighting that chicken, and it's going to take it. It's going to win. GC beats chicken, and with the vet it will be more than happy to continue. Well, this GC pushes up here. Now, Oblii's trying to get his comm out. But that GC is dangerous. He's on board, but they've pinged him. They know he's there. And MexClicker dives. MexClicker dives. And boom, he gets him. Oblii, the highest rated player, is taken out while in a transport and dies. So we've now got 4 in the north versus 3 in the south. And both teams have lost their highest rated player. Now, looks like MexClicker now only has 41 ASFs and Babel's inherited 80, so MexClicker lost air from that, but was it worth it? You tell me. Their highest rated player is out, and he's now got 2 GCs, has MexClicker, walking around, going to clear up the western plateau. Look at those are T3 Mexes being eaten by this GC. And there's also Mexes here being eaten by this GC, and what have they got that can stop it? Nothing really. Street Races picked himself up and airlifted himself out, which is a wise move, so well done there. And he's now got a monkey taking out this part of the plateau. He hasn't come and cleared up this stuff behind it yet, but he could easily with that monkey. That said, there's a GC coming in here, and the GC will easily defeat the monkey if they fight. Zardos has tried to send in his gunship to take out the GC, but Babel's ASFs quickly see it off. Meanwhile, the GC and the monkey get into a bit of a scrap here, and it looks to me like that monkey isn't going to come out the better of it. In fact, he's going to come out the worse of it, as you might expect when you fight a GC. So he does. The GC survives with nearly half its health remaining. We have got a GC from Maresko, which will take out this badly damaged GC from... forgotten his name already, MexClicker, easily enough, but Prugler's bringing in a chicken, and there's still another GC from MexClicker up on this plateau. So this plateau is now completely bare, but now there's another chicken coming in from Babel, and so we have 2 XPs versus 2 XPs fighting over this empty plateau. This GC is out of position, and so this chicken looks like it's going to die. There are tanks and shield gens in support. But that chicken goes down, so however does Babel's, and it's GC on GC. This one feels like it's in a worse position though, because it's next to 2 Iron Storms, but this Iron Storm prioritizes this GC, and both fall back, so we're in a bit of a stalemate situation here, 1 experimental surviving each. And build power has been dropped from Prugler onto this plateau now, so maybe that'll get something done. Harvey's coming in from Maresko to clear the eastern plateau, along with another monkey from Street Racer. So, as yet there's no what's the word I'm looking for? Engineers coming in from behind to help us out, so it looks like both plateaus are going to be wiped. But in the middle, we have experimental combat. That's 3 GCs on the screen for MexClicker, and that's going to be a hard ask for the southern team to stop. And it's backed up by a lot of Harbingers and a few Asylums as well. There are sniper bots, and they might take out this GC, which is looking quite badly damaged. But this monkey has got the advantage over this GC thanks to the support it's had from its allies, and so just about takes it out, though it's less badly damaged. This GC is under a lot of fire. Those are only absolvers, they're going to do nothing to that GC, but these point defences may have something to say about it. Indeed they do. That GC is going down. But there's still a GC and a bunch of harbs coming up and only a badly damaged monkey to stop them. Babel attempts to reclaim the plateau, but there's already a GC from Prugler wanting to have something to say about that. A chicken comes up to support the monkey of Street Racer, and between them they focus down the GC from MexClicker. Well, they don't focus it down until just now, which may be too little too late. Or will it? This looks like it might be a draw. No, it's not. The chicken survives by the skin of its beak, perhaps? Is that what you do for a chicken with skin of teeth? So this attempt to rebuild was noble, and there's a lot of teethy engineers up there, but this GC has just come around and is wiping it out. There's nothing on that Continental for it to drop. Don't know what it's doing up there. Rosenkastel is saying reclaim something. He's saying reclaim all of that. Well, he's right. 20, 40, 50. That's what, 80,000 mass just there. And at the moment, it looks like it's the southern teams for the taking. They've dropped a bunch of engineers in, and they're bringing more. There's quite a lot there to scoop up. Blazer has a chicken on the field, but there's a GC from Maresko, two GCs from Maresko coming to fight it off. Non-stop action brought to you today by these boys. That's a lot of broadswords, and that's an arse washer nearly complete for Prugler. Chicken comes in to try and get the plateau again for Babel, and these gunships come in to take it out from Zardos. Babel takes the air fight, but both Zardos and Mex now have a bunch of ASFs, and they utterly wipe Babel's air. So now there's complete air dominance for the northern team, and if there were ever time to build an arse washer, it's when your team has complete air dominance. Trust me on that. As if this air-to-ground, this big heap of broadswords from Zardos, wasn't enough. So suddenly it feels like the southern team is in a much weaker position. There are XPs coming in on all sides, though equally they've got XPs defending on all sides. But they've got gunships against them in the north and an arse washer coming down. Now most of this is being hoovered up, but these NGs might still be quite a lot of kills. One bomb goes off and boom, 35 kills, 7,000 mass. The Arthwasher takes a few hits from Babel's few ASFs, but those are quickly cleaned up by the anti-air here and by the ASFs from MexClicker. Don't lose our water, he says. It has taken a surprising amount of damage from those ASFs, but it's still up and running. I will control, give me, says MexClicker. He hasn't yet. Mex unhappy that his mates don't know what they should do. But I don't know, they seem to be doing okay for me. Those gunships are probably going to take that chicken out and leave an iron storm in his base, while this GC pushes down into the base of Babel. It's probably going to die from the combined fire of that chicken and the point defenses, but it's going to do the damage alright. It goes down, but it's quickly followed by the arse washer, which gets a bomb off, clears up a few engineers, clears up a bit of bird power. It did hit the shield, so it wasn't the most destructive bomb, but if at first you don't succeed, it looks like it's going to be able to come back for another pass. Boom. Look at that. It's taken out a huge bunch of mexes. It's more than paid for itself. Look at that. 71,000 mass killed for that arse washer. I think he wants to have the fun, says Tabernapple, and wouldn't you? Wouldn't you want to have fun, my friends? Babel's got more ASFs now. The arse washer dies, but it has absolutely paid for itself. F's in the chat, my friends. Press F to pay respects. 3 experimenters here, maybe massing for a push, but there's 3 experimenters and a lot of Harbies here, so that's probably not going to get anything done, and it might have to stay here under the shields of defense. Wonder what these... A lot of TMLs, all loaded, they haven't shot anything yet. That feels like a mistake from Street Racer. Smallish push by the standards of right now. Normally you'd think that many sniper bots, 2 chickens, is quite a big push, but by the standards of right now it's a smallish push. There were 2 XPs and a bunch of point defences ranged against it. Maresko's comm feels a little vulnerable despite the shield and gun and a half. And here the fight opens up. The monkey is killed quickly. The chicken walks in so that when it dies it will do the damage with the Ion Storm. And die it most certainly does. These GCs face off against each other, and the one from MexClicker dies to Maresko's. Maresko's falls back knowing that he won't get anything more done there. 2 chickens, albeit one of them very badly damaged, head out from Babel to try and take the plateau back again. There hasn't really been much opportunity for this plateau to develop, and Street Racer has very courageously gone and dropped it yet again with a bunch of engineers. He's got a T3 air factory up there. Oh, because he didn't have T3 land and he wanted to be able to produce T3 engineers. Got it. Nice idea, I guess. And he's putting up a line of point defences to keep it. And he's going straight for T3 mexes on these mass points, which again will give him a decent amount of mass. But now we've got a Novak satellite out from Zardos, which might cause some problems, because I'm not seeing many shields here at all. And Babel's chickens up here have just been taken out by the wave of broadswords from Zardos, and they're getting no resistance because of the immense air dominance of the northern team. This chicken walks its way into the base, which used to belong to Babel, but for some reason he's given it all to Maresko, and Babel walks out to his doom. But joke's on him, it looks like Maresko's gonna die first as this chicken opens fire on him. Actually, is it? Yeah, it is. Maresko is under fire from the chicken, and... oops, bad angle there. And he explodes, bang. Babel soon follows him to this GC from MexClicker, and poor old Street Racer, lowest rated player on his team, is left holding out against the forces of the North. 3 GCs bear down on him. He doesn't try to run, he knows what's coming. 3 GCs and the Novaks. He's got a Mega, which might defeat 1 GC, but it's not going to defeat 3, and Street Racer isn't going to evacuate. He's dying like a man. He walks to his death. GCs open up on him. One of them dies, but down goes Street Racer and the northern team wins. That felt like non-stop action, I hope you agree. Do you think you could have won as the southern team? What would you have done differently? You know the drill. Please tell me in the comments below, and while you're down there, don't forget to like, subscribe, and obey. I'm the Commissar, and I will see you next time.